move on to this weekend and Northampton. People have already said this might be a sort of marker of where we are this season, because obviously we were both beaten playoff semi-finalists last season and they started well too.
Yeah, of course, yeah, they've started really well, you know, they're second in the league, they've had a great start, they're a really tough side, you know, I've watched them obviously at length this week. They've got the highest goal scorer in the team in Hoskins. They've scored, I think, 22 goals, 12 of which have been set pieces. So we're going to have to be really on our guard with that. And yeah, it's a game that we're really looking forward to.
I was going to ask about set pieces. I think last season it was often Guthrie and Horsfall, wasn't it? The centre backs who were scoring goals.
It was, yeah. But the end, listen, they're really strong on that. It's a really big part of their game. You know, they've got long throw as well. Mitch Pinnock takes the throw on both sides and he really launches it in flat as well, so he's kind of coming in at pace. So yeah, they're really dangerous with the set pieces, so something that we will be working on and we have worked on and spoke about already.
How do you prep for that specifically in training? I guess you can't let your mannequin staller, can you?
Well, no, we literally play 11v11 and kind of get the opposition to play like they do, and that's what we do, you know, and we have to defend against it and be aggressive. We've done some defending actions today, which was really good. So no, listen, it's going to be a real tough game, but one that I'm confident with my lads, and you know, like I say, we're really looking forward to the game.
As ever, not picking your team, but in terms of your squad, say Ducan suspended, Louis Reed, Johnny Williams back in?
Yeah, Reed is fit now. He's trained really well today, so he comes back in. So yeah, like for like.
And Johnny Williams unscathed after Wales. I don't think he was used, was he, as a sub?
He wasn't used, basically had a week off. I keep bantering him, he's had a bit of a break, so he should be really fresh.
And what news of Rushan Hepburn-Murphy? Obviously, so disappointing he only get 15 minutes on the pitch on Saturday.
Yeah, unfortunately he's had a tear to his hamstring tendon, so not great news, unfortunately. Could be up to 10 weeks. So yeah, quite a significant tear in his hamstring tendon, so we're really disappointed with that one and feel for him. So, but I do back kind of him, as we've seen him rehab before. Great attitude, and we back obviously our medical staff as well. So that 10 weeks might turn into 8 or 7, hopefully.
Different to the problem before, though, just a new problem?
Yeah, completely different. Yeah, I think it's down to the fact that he hasn't, you know, obviously been on a football pitch for a long time, and you've seen him on Tuesday night come on and play half an hour and did really well, which kind of made me put him on the bench for the Saturday game, and he come on the pitch, and I think just the fact that his body's probably deconditioned to playing football at pace, maybe had an effect on why he got the hamstring tendon tear, you know.
Quick one on the potential atmosphere this weekend. Hopefully the county ground will be full.
Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? You know, we're really looking forward to that. You know, we're hopeful that we get over 10,000 for the game, and you know, I think that the fans travelling away have been outstanding, and you know, and it'd be great to get a real packed house, and obviously playing against a good side as well.
Lots into the Legends Lounge last night, but just picking on a couple of themes. The 10-game review, what can you tell us about that? The 10-game league review, the data with you and Sandro.
Well, we sit down, we look at the data and what can it tell us, and it told us a few things that, did I know? Yeah, probably, but it kind of highlights it more so, and you know, it's in numbers and you can see it, and I think that we can be certainly tighter at the back for sure, and we can probably stop Sol from doing as much work as he's been doing. I think that's an area that we need to address, and we are doing. And I think at the other end of the pitch as well, I think that we probably need to get ourselves in positions where we have kind of clearer chances as opposed to striking from longer distance, you know, so little things like that. And yeah, and it's interesting to see, you know, we're a team that don't cross it a lot. But having said that, we're a team that kind of pick moments to cross from better areas. So for argument's sake, I'll take the Jacob Wakeling goal. Romeo Hutton ends up with the ball wide right at the start of the action, and he's in probably what I would call a normal League Two crossing position. He chooses not to put it in because he's fairly deep, and we play around the box. Lewis Reed ends up with it and kind of does a bit of smart play on the edge of the box. Finally ends up with Fraser in probably a better position than Romeo Hutton was in the original action, and he crosses it from a better position and we end up scoring. So we don't cross it as much as normal League Two sides do, but we feel that we work the ball to an efficient area eventually. You know, so that's kind of the thought process on that. But it's interesting to see the numbers and something that we can all learn from.
You mentioned Solid, just seen on the club's social media, he's Player of the Month, voted by the fans for the first 2 months he's been here. That's an incredible turnaround when you think what you were talking about after Harrogate.
Yeah, no, listen, he's been brilliant, and you know, it was one of them decisions at the start of the season where it was between him and Lewis Ward, and I give him exactly the same game time, and I felt that Sol had done more than Lewis Ward had, and by look more than anything, you know, and I felt that the stuff that he dealt with within them moments of the games that he played in, I thought he looked comprehensive, he looked ready to play, and I thought it was the right decision. You know, obviously we shipped some goals in at Harrogate, and was he to blame? Arguably, for maybe one of them at least. But he's a really good pro. He's very level-headed. Nothing really phases him, you know. Nothing really bothers him. He's quite a strong character, and his performances have kind of gone up and up and up, and I think he's been outstanding, and he's had a great start to the season, and long may it continue.
I'm going to ask you for another explanation. I'm sure you're well versed in this after last night. The long goal kick or lack of long goal kick. Just talk us through the press and the thought process there.
Well, we want to dominate possession. We want to play. So, in order for us to dominate possession, why can't we play out from the back? You know, we want to try and invite a press, and then we want to try and play round through or over a press from there. There's going to be times when they put a hard press on you from the start, so that's probably the times that we have to pick to probably kick a bit longer. You know, there's times when a team press against you and they almost set traps to try and win the ball off you, but that shouldn't stop us from playing. If they want to set traps, that's fine. We've got to find solutions to that. You know, I've always felt that by kicking the ball from a goal kick, especially when you've got kind of 3 forwards up the top of the pitch who are not very big, is almost a waste of possession. You know, you're giving the ball away and it becomes a toss of a coin, A, who's going to land on it, and B, who's going to pick the second ball up, and it becomes a fight. And a lot of the goal kicks, if we kick long, you know, we tend to come under a bit of pressure not long after that. So what we want to do is try and play out and dominate possession from them deep moments, you know, deep areas, you know, and deep early moments in the game, you know. And there's going to be times when we feel that, okay, we're under a bit of pressure. We've had 4 long throws after corners, and you know we can't get out, and then we might have to try and clip one into a flatter one into Jeff Cut, and you know we also work on actions from that as well. But in general, we want to try and play out because we want to dominate the ball.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about, everybody on the panel was asked for areas for improvement. Have you really had one day off since you got the gig? Because that's not good time management, if you don't mind me saying.
No, and I do believe that I do need to be more efficient with my time. I've thrown everything into the job, and yeah, I've had one day off, which was my daughter's birthday, and I said I'm not going to do any work today. But I do have days off, but I have probably 2 or 3 hours on them days off where I do a bit of work. So you know I do get time off, but there's a lot of time spent watching games back and then obviously watching the opposition. But as I get into the role and get used to it, I will become more efficient. I promise you.
I wish you luck for Saturday, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.